You ever notice how quiet it gets when you're the last one standing? Like the whole damn world takes a step back just to watch you drown in the silence. That's the curse of being strong. Ain't nobody there to catch you when the weight gets too heavy. And trust me, it will get heavy. That's the tax they don't tell you about. The price of never folding when life throws its hardest punches. They all cheer when you rise. Oh, they love that part, don't they? Clapping like fools, calling you unstoppable, like you're some kind of hero. But the second you stumble, just once, they scatter like roaches when the lights come on. That's the moment you learn the truth. The strongest? Yeah, we're always alone. Always. Strength ain't built in the light. No, it's forged in the darkest pits. In the moments where it's just you against you. Nobody's watching, nobody's clapping. You fight, bleed, and crawl quietly. People think strength is loud, but real strength is silent. It's the kind of pain that doesn't make a sound when it breaks you. You think anyone really cares about what you've been through? Nah. They only care about the product, the polished version of you that doesn't scare them. The one that smiles just enough to make them comfortable. But you know the truth. You've carried your own coffin more times than you can count, burying pieces of yourself just to keep moving forward. Ain't no room for weakness in this world. Weakness gets exploited, torn apart, eaten alive. Let me tell you something, though. They don't really hate you for being strong. They hate you because your strength reminds them of their weakness. Your fire burns their shadows, makes their insecurities dance in the open. And people are terrified of mirrors. They'd rather break the glass than see the cracks in their reflection. That's why they'll try to break you, because it's easier than fixing themselves. But you ain't like them, nah. You're different. You've been through hell, and you're still here. You didn't just survive the fire, you became the fire. Every scar on your body, every bruise, every ache. It's a badge of honor. Proof that you didn't fold, even when life begged you to. And yeah, it hurts. It's supposed to hurt. Pain is the currency of the strong. But don't you dare let that pain make you bitter. Oh, it's tempting, I know. Bitterness feels like armor at first, doesn't it? Like it'll protect you from ever being hurt again. But bitterness ain't armor, it's poison. It seeps into your soul, rots you from the inside out. No, what you need is fire. Controlled, focused, relentless fire. The kind that doesn't just burn, it rebuilds. That's what makes you unstoppable. Look around. You see anyone? No. And that's exactly how it's meant to be. The strongest warriors don't walk in packs. They march alone. Why? Because the road to greatness is too narrow for company. You're gonna bleed on this path, scream on this path, beg for mercy on this path. But you don't stop. You don't ever stop. The second you stop, the second you let that weight crush you, it's over. And you ain't built to quit, not you. You've got something they don't, a will forged in chaos. You've looked death in the eye and spat in its face. You've faced demons that would make most men crumble, and you're still here. That ain't luck. That's you. That's the monster they tried to kill, but couldn't. That's the warrior who doesn't need applause to know his worth. Let them talk. Let them doubt. Let them underestimate you. Every whisper, every sneer, every sideways glance, it's fuel. You take that hate, that doubt, and you feed the fire inside you. You don't prove them wrong. Nah, proving them wrong is too small. You prove yourself right. That's the goal. That's the game. And yeah, you're gonna lose people along the way. People you thought were in your corner. People you thought would ride with you no matter what. But let me tell you something. You don't lose real ones. The ones who matter, they stay. The ones who leave, they were dead weight anyway. You don't carry dead weight. Not anymore. It's lonely at the top. But it's lonelier at the bottom, drowning in regret, wondering what could have been if you just had the guts to stand alone. You've got those guts. I see it in you. You're a survivor, a fighter, a warrior. And warriors don't need a crowd. They don't need validation. They just need a purpose. And you've got a damn good one. Stand tall. Let the world watch. Let them judge. Let them doubt. None of it matters. What matters is you, your fire, your fight, your story. And when it's all said and done, when the dust settles and the smoke clears, they'll see it. They'll see what you were made of, and they'll remember. Because the strongest, we're always alone. And that's exactly how we like it. You know what they'll never tell you? Strength comes with a price tag so high, most people aren't willing to pay it. They see the results, the grit, the scars, the unbreakable resolve. But they never ask about the cost, and you can't blame them. Really. People love a good success story, but they hate hearing about the blood spilled to get there. They want the triumph, not the tragedy. But you don't get to skip the tragedy. You live in it. You breathe it. You carry it in your chest like a second heartbeat. And every single day, it whispers to you, give up. It's not worth it. But you don't listen, do you? You can't afford to. Because deep down, you know. Giving up is for the weak. And you've outgrown weakness. It doesn't fit you anymore. That's the thing about pain. It's not just an enemy. It's a teacher, a mentor, a forge. Pain strips you down, burns away all the lies you tell yourself, all the excuses, all the illusions. And what's left? The truth. The raw, ugly, undeniable truth. That's what makes you strong, not the muscles, not the bravado. It's the fact that you've stared truth in the face and didn't flinch. You know what the truth is? It's simple. No one's coming to save you. No one's gonna pick you up when you fall. No one's gonna fight your battles for you. Hell, half the people in your life are just waiting for you to fail, so they can feel better about their own misery. That's the world you live in. Cold, unforgiving, brutal. And yet you keep moving. Why? Because you've got no other choice. You ever notice how the world loves to talk about resilience, but only when it's convenient? They'll say things like, stay strong, or keep fighting. But the second you actually show them what strength looks like, real, raw, unfiltered strength, they back off. Because real strength scares them. It reminds them of everything they're not. And people, they hate being reminded of their own inadequacy. But you can't care about that. Their fear isn't your problem. Their insecurities aren't your burden to carry. You've got enough weight on your shoulders already. The weight of your dreams, your failures, your scars. That's your load. And yeah, it's heavy. Sometimes it feels like it's gonna crush you, but it hasn't yet, has it? You're still here, still standing, still breathing. And as long as you're breathing, you've got a chance to fight back. You ever wonder why warriors fight? It's not for glory. It's not for recognition. It's not even for survival, not really. Warriors fight because it's the only thing they know. The battlefield is their home, their sanctuary. The chaos, the struggle, the blood. It's where they find purpose. And you're no different. Life's been a battlefield since the day you were born, and you've been fighting ever since. You didn't choose this life, but it chose you. And now you own it. You've got to understand something. Being alone isn't a weakness, it's a strength. It means you don't rely on anyone else to define you, to validate you, to complete you. It means you're self-made, self-reliant, untouchable. Sure, it gets lonely. Sure, it hurts. But that pain, that loneliness, it's the price of freedom. And freedom, that's priceless. They'll call you cold. They'll call you heartless. They'll say you've changed. And you know what? They're right. You have changed. You've had to, because the version of you that used to care about their opinions, that version didn't survive the fire. That version died a long time ago, and good riddance. You don't need their approval. You don't need their sympathy. All you need is your fire, your fight, your will to keep going. Look at yourself. Really look. You've been through hell, and yet, here you are. Not because you were lucky, not because someone saved you, but because you refused to quit. Because every time life knocked you down, you got back up. And every time you got back up, you got stronger. That's what they don't understand. Every scar, every failure, every heartbreak, it's not a weakness, it's armor. It's proof that you've been tested and came out on the other side. But don't get comfortable. The fight's not over. It never will be. Life doesn't hand out victories. It hands out battles, one after another, until the day you die. And the only question that matters is this: are you gonna let it break you, or are you gonna break it first? You've got this far. You've built yourself from the ground up, brick by bloody brick. Don't stop now. Don't let the weight crush you. Carry it, own it. And when the world comes for you, and it will, you look it in the eye and say, "Come on then. Let's see what you've got." Because the strongest, we don't back down, we don't break, and we sure as hell don't need anyone to hold us up. We stand alone, always, and that's exactly how we like it. You know what I've learned? The hardest battles are the ones nobody sees. The wars you fight in your own head, in the dead of night, when the world's asleep, and it's just you and your demons. Those are the fights that define you. Not the ones with fists, not the ones with blood and bruises. No, the real wars are fought in silence. And most people, they lose. They break. They give in to the whispers that tell them they're not enough. But not you. You didn't break. You didn't give in. That's what makes you different. That's what makes you dangerous. Because once you've survived the war inside your own mind, there's nothing out there that can touch you. Nothing. People don't get that. They look at you and think you're just lucky, like you haven't earned every damn inch of the ground you stand on. But you know better. You've bled for this. You've clawed your way through hell for this, and you're not about to let anyone take it from you. The funny thing is, they'll still try. Oh, they'll try. They'll poke, prod, push every button they can find. They'll test your patience, your resolve, your strength. And when that doesn't work, they'll try to guilt you, make you doubt yourself, make you question whether it's all worth it. But here's the thing. They don't understand the fire inside you. They don't understand that you've been through worse, seen worse, survived worse. They're playing games with someone who's already won the ultimate fight. The fight to not give up on yourself. They don't see the nights you've spent staring at the ceiling, questioning everything. They don't see the mornings where it took every ounce of strength just to get out of bed. They don't know what it's like to carry the weight of your own expectations, to constantly push yourself to be better, stronger, smarter. They see the surface, but they don't see the storms underneath. And that's fine. Let them stay blind. Their ignorance is your advantage. You ever notice how quiet it gets when you stop chasing validation? When you stop caring about what they think, what they say, what they want? That's when the real work begins. That's when you start building, not for them, but for you. Because at the end of the day, it's your life, your story, your legacy. And if you're not writing it for yourself, then what the hell are you even doing? The strongest are always alone. Not because we want to be, but because we have to be. Because the moment you let someone in, the moment you start relying on someone else to hold you up, you give them the power to tear you down. And people love to tear you down. It makes them feel bigger, better, stronger. They'll smile in your face, pat you on the back, and then twist the knife the second you turn around. That's why you've got to be your own foundation, your own fortress. You can't lean on anyone else, because when the storms come, and they will come, you need to know that you can stand on your own. That you can weather the winds, the rain, the fire. Because the strongest, we're not afraid of the storm. We are the storm. And yeah, it's lonely, it's cold, it's brutal. But you don't need warmth. You don't need comfort. Those things make you soft, make you weak. What you need is fire, the kind that burns so hot it scares people, the kind that makes them think twice before crossing you. That fire, it's not something you're born with. It's something you earn, something you forge through pain, through struggle, through heartbreak. And let me tell you something. Heartbreak is the best teacher there is. It shows you who you really are, what you're really made of. It strips away all the illusions, all the lies, and leaves you with nothing but the truth. And the truth, it hurts. It cuts deeper than any blade, leaves scars that never fully heal. But those scars, they're not weaknesses, they're not flaws. They're proof that you've lived, that you've fought, that you've survived. You think anyone else could have walked your path? You think anyone else could have survived what you've been through? Hell no. Most people would have folded a long time ago, but not you. You kept going, you kept fighting, and now you're unstoppable. Not because you don't feel pain, but because you've learned to embrace it, to use it, to let it fuel you. Let them doubt you, let them talk, let them try to bring you down. None of it matters. Because at the end of the day, the only person you have to answer to is yourself. And you. You're not here to impress anyone. You're here to win, to conquer, to build something so unshakable, so undeniable, that no one can touch it. The strongest are always alone. But that's not a curse, it's a gift, because solitude breeds strength. It forces you to face yourself, to confront your fears, your doubts, your demons. And when you come out the other side, you're not just strong, you're unstoppable, you're untouchable, you're a force of nature. Keep going, keep fighting, keep building. And when the world finally realizes what you've become, it won't be because they believed in you. It'll be because you believed in yourself. And that's the ultimate victory. You know, there was a time when I thought people could be trusted, when I believed in loyalty, in bonds that couldn't be broken. But life taught me the hardest lesson of all. Those closest to you can cut the deepest. And when the blade comes, it's never from the ones you expected. No, it's from the ones you called family, the ones you gave your soul to without a second thought. They'll look you in the eyes, smile like they've got your back, and then stab. Quick, quiet, precise. You don't even feel the pain at first. No, the pain comes later, when you're alone, bleeding out, trying to make sense of it all. That's when you learn trust is a weakness, one that gets exploited every time. So you stop trusting. You build walls so high, no one can climb them. You don't let anyone in, not anymore. And that's when you start to see the world for what it really is, a battlefield. Every conversation is a negotiation, every interaction a game of power and leverage. There's no love here, no kindness, no mercy. It's all about survival. Who's stronger? Who's smarter? Who can outlast the other? And in that game, emotions are liabilities, attachments. They'll weigh you down, make you soft, make you vulnerable. You can't afford that. Not here, not now. The strongest are always alone because we've seen what happens when you let people in. We've felt the pain of betrayal, the sting of abandonment, and we've decided never again. Never again. You think that makes us heartless? Maybe it does. But you know what? It also makes us unstoppable. Because once you've severed every tie, once you've let go of every chain holding you back, there's nothing left to lose. And a man with nothing to lose, that's the most dangerous man of all. But don't get me wrong, it's not about being bitter. Bitterness is for the weak, for the ones who let their pain consume them. You're better than that. You don't let the pain control you. You harness it. You take every scar, every wound, every tear, and you turn it into fuel. Let the fire inside you grow so hot, so fierce that it burns everything in its path. Not out of hatred, but out of purpose. Out of a relentless drive to keep moving forward, no matter what. You've got to understand something. The world doesn't owe you a damn thing. Not respect, not kindness, not fairness. Everything you want, everything you dream of, you've got to take it. By force, if necessary. You think anyone's gonna hand it to you? You think anyone's gonna step aside and let you climb to the top? Hell no. They'll fight you every step of the way. Try to drag you down. Try to make you doubt yourself. And when they see you stumble, they'll laugh. They'll celebrate your pain like it's some kind of victory for them. But that's their mistake. They think a stumble is the same as a fall. They don't realize you've been knocked down before. And every time, you've gotten back up. Stronger, meaner, hungrier. You don't just survive, you thrive. And that scares them. It terrifies them. Because it means they can't break you. No matter what they do, no matter how hard they try, you're still standing. And that's a power they'll never understand. Loneliness, it's not a curse, it's a weapon. It sharpens you, hardens you, makes you unbreakable. While they're out there clinging to each other, terrified of being alone, you're standing tall, carrying your own weight, fighting your own battles. You don't need anyone to validate you, to hold your hand, to tell you it's gonna be okay. You've got yourself. And that's enough. More than enough. And when the dust settles, when the smoke clears, they'll see what you've built. They'll see the empire you've carved out of nothing, the kingdom you've forged with your bare hands. And they'll hate you for it. They'll call you ruthless, heartless, cold. Let them. Let their words roll off you like rain off stone. Because at the end of the day, their opinions don't matter. The only thing that matters is the legacy you leave behind. You're not here to be liked. You're not here to be understood. You're here to win, to dominate, to prove once and for all that the strongest aren't the ones with the most friends or the loudest applause. No, the strongest are the ones who can stand alone, unshaken, unbroken, unstoppable. Keep going, keep fighting, keep building. Let them talk, let them doubt, Let them hate. It doesn't matter, because you know the truth. You've always known. The strongest are always alone. And that's exactly how it's meant to be.